Everyone's obsessed with reading the room and worshiping the mask. Calm, unreadable, untouchable. But greatness isn't found in the game of appearances. It belongs to the one who rips off the mask, faces his chaos, and turns every buried flaw into power. You've clicked because you want to outsmart the world, to control the room, read the game, and stay 2 steps ahead. Most people think mastery is about staying calm, reading faces, never letting your emotions show. They believe the secret is to hide your flaws and wear the perfect mask. But here's the truth. The mask cracks. You can only control so much before your own hidden feelings and buried instincts start to work against you. Real power comes when you stop running from the parts of yourself you'd rather not see, when you look at your shadow and choose to own it. This video will show you how to move from just playing the part to actually becoming unbreakable. By learning to recognize and use every part of yourself, you'll rise above empty tactics and step into real confidence. What waits ahead is not just strategy, it's the secret to ruling yourself. The journey starts now. You've heard it before. Stay calm, never show weakness, keep your mask on. People act like the mask itself is power, as if you can win just by playing the game right. But even the mask of stone has cracks. You feel the tension inside when you try to control everything on the outside. No one tells you the cost of always holding back, of keeping your guard up every hour, every day. The mask protects, but it also traps. What if real strength isn't found in hiding, but in what lies beneath? Soon, you'll see that the mask you trust is only the start. There is something deeper, something more dangerous, and much more powerful, waiting just below the surface. At first, mastering observation feels like a superpower. You read the room, pick up on every small shift, every glance, every silence. It's easy to believe that as long as you keep watching and stay detached, you'll always stay in control. But the more you focus on others, the less you see your own blind spots. The shadows start to shift in the corners of your mind. Doubts, old habits, hidden feelings. You miss what's happening inside yourself, even as you track every move on the outside. The mask that once made you strong now hides the one thing that can undo you: your own shadow. You'll soon realize that real power means seeing not just what's in front of you, but what's been hiding in your own darkness all along. There's a hidden fire inside every person, a force deeper than skill or strategy. You may try to keep it buried, hoping your mask will hold it back. But the truth is, your shadow self, the anger, pride, fear, and hunger you never admit, waits just beneath the surface. This flame grows hotter the more you ignore it. You feel it in moments of stress, in quiet resentment, in choices you regret but can't explain. The shadow doesn't vanish. It gathers strength in silence, ready to break through the cracks in your mask at the worst possible time. The biggest threat isn't out there. It's the fire inside you. Unless you face it, claim it, and use it, it will burn your plans to the ground. True mastery starts the moment you stop hiding from your own flame and choose to hold it in your hands. You might believe that power comes from shutting out your darkness, pretending you have no flaws, no anger, no hunger. It's easy to chase perfection, thinking you can lead without ever facing the mess inside. But as you keep up the act, your own reflection starts to look back at you from the shadows. Every denial, every lie to yourself makes your darkness stronger and more unpredictable. the more you run, the more you lose control. Real power is not found in pretending to be perfect. It's found when you stop running, turn to face your own reflection, and call it by name. When the king faces his own darkness, he stops being a prisoner of fear and finally takes command. It's not enough to see your darkness. You must use it, honestly, wisely, with purpose. Think of your flaws, old mistakes, and hidden drives like broken pieces of stone. They can weigh you down, or you can shape them into something stronger. Each time you act from truth, not just what looks good, but what feels real, you forge those broken pieces into a weapon no one else can wield. You become less shaken by outside pressure because you're no longer fighting yourself inside. The world's opinions lose their grip. Your past doesn't have to be your weakness. Your flaws don't have to be your cage. When you use every part of yourself with clear intent, you become harder to break and far more dangerous to anyone who tries. This is how the king's strength is forged from broken stone. Most people believe power comes from what others can see. Confidence, clever words, and an untouchable presence. They spend their lives perfecting the mask, but never question what's underneath. But if you look closer, you'll see the cracks. The strongest looking leader often falls the hardest when their hidden doubts and secret fears rush in like wind through empty halls. Control without true ownership is only an illusion, one that can collapse in a heartbeat. Here is the real twist. The crown means nothing if it's hollow. Power that isn't grounded in your full self, shadow and all, will always slip away. It's time to realize that pretending to rule is not the same as truly holding the throne. Every lesson, every crack, every shadow faced has built to this moment. The tension between mask and truth, between hiding and claiming your darkness, is the real battleground of power. Now you stand as both strategist and sovereign, knowing every part of yourself, shadow and light, has its place. No longer pulled apart by fear or shame, you rise whole, able to lead both the world and your own mind. The king's true strength is forged when he carries his shadow, not as a burden, but as proof that he cannot be broken. This is the threshold. You are no longer just playing at power. You are ready to step forward, unmasked, with nothing to hide and nothing left to fear. Here, the real story begins, the rise of the fallen king, both ruler and storm. The mask has fallen, its stone shell scattered on the ground where shadows used to gather. The question that pulled you here, how to outsmart, how to control, how to never be outplayed, has been answered, but not as you expected. What you sought was power over others. What you discovered was the power you had hidden from yourself. The silent flame that flickers behind every mask. The buried truth that outlives any clever strategy. It is not the world that needed conquering, but the storm within. This was the mystery. You are never truly untouchable until you stand unmasked, both shadow and fire, ruler of your own divided mind. That is the final lesson. What seemed to be about control was always about awakening the sovereign in the ruins of the fallen king. Every secret learned, every shadow named, every weapon forged from broken stone has led you here. The journey was never just about tactics or silent power. It was the battle to gather every fractured piece of yourself and rise as something whole. Now the air trembles with the promise of transformation. The story is no longer just words on a screen. It is a summons. You have seen the hidden cracks and dared to walk into your own darkness, not to be consumed, but to claim it as your own. This is what sets the sovereign apart. Not denial, not performance, but the courage to lead from the place where shadow meets light. The time has come, fallen king. Let your actions reflect the depth of what you've learned. Move into the world as one who carries both mask and truth, both wound and weapon. Let your presence be the answer to the question you once carried. The next move is yours. Stand and rule, unbreakable. Night deepens and the stone halls echo with the silence of a new beginning. Above, stars ignite, casting their ancient witness on the throne, now claimed by one who knows both shadow and flame. In the stillness, the ruins no longer mourn, they awaken. You stand, changed, no longer hidden behind masks, no longer trembling before the storm inside. The wind stirs through broken crowns, carrying your name into legend. This is not the end, but the forging of your myth. The cosmos tilts, and every shadow you once feared becomes a banner at your back. Remember the words that opened this path. Real power is not the mask, but the secret to ruling yourself. Let these final echoes haunt the corridors of your mind. The fallen king rises, not to play a part, but to claim the throne of his own spirit, forever unmasked, forever sovereign.